It was the victory they craved, a moment celebrated across the MAGA verse. After a relentless campaign, they believed they had finally done it. They had canceled Jimmy Kimmel. For days, social media was a victory lap. They had taken down a titan of late night television. To them, it was proof of their power, a clear win in the ongoing culture war. They thought the battle.
I sued the New York Times 2 days ago for a lot of money because I'm winning. I mean, I'm winning the cases, and the reason I'm winning is because you're guilty, John. You're guilty. ABC is a terrible network, a very unfair network, and you should be ashamed of yourself. NBC is equally bad.
Whoa, you saw what just went down? Jimmy Kimmel got suspended indefinitely by ABC just for roasting MAGA voices over Charlie Kirk. Talk about cancel culture on steroids. Then liberals freak about gun violence, demand stricter gun laws. Fine, okay. But when free speech groups condemn what they think is hateful speech, suddenly it's a slippery slope. First Amendment, but feelings. Blah, blah, blah. And that's why I crack open Liberal Tears energy drink, packed with roasted late-night hosts, hypocritical outrage, and enough caffeine to survive the next free speech demolition. Side effect? You'll laugh when they lecture about censorship, right after signing petitions for safe spaces. Grab your Liberal Tears now.
The news dropped like a bombshell. Disney wasn't just reinstating Jimmy Kimmel. They were bringing him back in less than a week. The MAGA world's victory party turned into a furious meltdown. The feeling of betrayal was immediate and explosive.
Jimmy Kimmel is back on ABC on Tuesday night. Are you kidding me? He wasn't sad enough about our Lord and Savior Charlie Kirk, and the FCC chair said we could do this the easy way or the hard way. He was supposed to be canceled. What do you mean he's back? How is this happening?
You mean to tell me that all Disney did was temporarily pull Jimmy Kimmel off the air so he wouldn't continue running his mouth about Charlie Kirk and doubling down on it, and a week later he's back? Come on now, who got to you? Disney spokesperson said, "We felt that some of the comments made were ill-timed and insensitive." Well, no shit. But his ratings were down, his ratings are down, and his show is not making money. It's costing money. But you justifiably put him back on the air? Again, who got to you? See, there's other affiliates who also pulled the plug on Jimmy Kimmel. He won't be going back on the air there. Is it because Disney lost so many subscriptions in the last week? Is that what did it? That has to be it. Jimmy Kimmel still has no plans to apologize. I mean, that's right on par for him. But I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be canceling my Disney subscription because their stuff's been shit anyway.
The anger quickly turned into action. The call went out. Boycott. Not just ABC, but the entire Disney empire. From theme parks to streaming services. The MAGA base declared war on the House of Mouse.
So Disney and ABC have decided to bring Jimmy Kimmel back immediately. So I feel like it's time to boycott Disney and ABC. I will never watch it again. Never.
Alright, so to fellow Americans on the left, I just want you to know that I 100% support your boycott of Disney. 100%. In fact, teach them a lesson. You should avoid all Disney parks till New Year's. Now, if you really want to show them, I think you should boycott the parks December 15th. Yeah, the week of December 15th. Boycott the parks. Don't let them win.
I'm very happy that Jimmy Kimmel is going to be back on TV. He's a liberal activist. But what I would say is that the Democrats were using what happened to him as a way to say that the Trump administration was limiting free speech when it was really ABC doing that. But what I would say is I'm really happy he'll be back on, because honestly, I think that Jimmy Kimmel does not help the Democrats get votes. In fact, I think he loses them a lot of votes by being on the air.
So ABC is bringing back Jimmy Fallon, and I got to be honest, I really don't care, because either way, we're winning. Like you have to think about it for a second. Jimmy Fallon averages 160,000 viewers per night. Do you understand that for the week, he's not even breaking 1 million viewers? And he is losing ABC, and therefore Disney, because Disney owns them, about $20 million per year. 16 million of which is his paycheck. So yeah, I really don't care that he's coming back, because nobody's gonna fucking watch him anyway. Nobody has been watching him. Like I said, he's averaging 160,000 viewers. I mean, shit, I make, 8 to 10 videos a day? And at least half of them get more views than his show. Like just videos here on TikTok about whatever random topic. So like, look, here's how this is gonna go down. Jimmy Kimmel is gonna come back. He's gonna see a spike in viewership for a little while. And then people are going to go back to the normal mode of not watching late night TV. And Disney is going to go back to losing $20 million a year. So yeah, I don't care, but I figured I'd let you know.
And it seemed to have an impact. Reports flooded in that Disney had lost billions in market value in just 5 days. The people were making their voices heard where it hurt the most. The bottom line. But angry tweets and canceled subscriptions were just the beginning.
Disney thought they could do whatever they wanted and get away with it by chance. But look at their current situation. As of today, Disney has lost $4 billion US. Yes.
We have some major news right now. Donald Trump is now threatening to sue ABC again, this time over putting Kimmel back on air. In a new Truth Social post, Donald Trump writes, "I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there." He went on to say, "I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative." Jimmy Kimmel will be back on air tonight because of you, because of public pressure, because your voice, well, they were louder than Donald Trump's. Your voice matters. And it got Jimmy Kimmel back on air. Well, Donald Trump is now trying to use his powers as president and his leverage as president to try to sue ABC to get Kimmel back off air. And it's important that media does not cave to Trump, that media does not settle with Trump and stands up to him in this moment. So spread the word, because he's once again attacking the First Amendment, and we can't let him win. Follow along for more to come soon.
Some breaking news coming in within the past half hour or so. We're hearing that President Trump is going to take on ABC again, it appears. He just put this on Truth Social. "I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny, and who puts the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? He is yet another arm of the DNC, and, to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings," the president says on Truth Social there. We're also, as we record this, we're about 10 minutes away from Jimmy Kimmel's first show back, airing on the East Coast. We haven't gotten video of his opening remarks yet. We don't know exactly what he said in his monologue. What we can say, though, I've got some reporting from the Associated Press in front of me. They say that, by the way, we'll just mention also that Kimmel has been off the air since last week, ABC deciding to pull his show from the air. There was some speculation and some question at first as to whether or not he was canceled and whether or not we would actually see Kimmel return to the air at all. Kimmel, as I said, coming back on air in about 10 minutes on the East Coast. I'm getting in a little bit of reporting from the Associated Press. Apparently some of the audience members who were at tonight's taping were interviewed by journalists. One audience member said that Kimmel made sure everybody knew that he was not making fun of the tragedy of Charlie Kirk's murder. The person that was in the audience said that Kimmel wouldn't, excuse me, I'm reading this incorrectly. The person in the audience said he wouldn't call what Kimmel said an apology, but that the message was very, very clear. The audience member said that Kimmel also praised Charlie Kirk's wife for showing Christian values and forgiving her husband's killer. The person in the audience quoted as saying, "It was a very moving moment. I got very emotional, and so did my wife." Then he went back to hitting the administration, he said. So we do know that Kimmel's viewership tonight will be more limited than usual. Two companies that own ABC affiliates across the nation say that they would not put Kimmel's show on, leaving audiences in cities like St. Louis, Nashville, and Richmond, Virginia to watch something else. Sinclair and Nexstar are the corporations that we're talking about. We have been following this closely, and of course, here on Live Now, we'll let you know as soon as we get a little bit more context about what Kimmel said in his monologue. Again, the news of the hour, though, is that President Trump says that he intends to see how they do. They're going to test ABC out, they say. Reminding everybody that he got $16 million the last time he went after ABC. The president says that this one could be more lucrative. We'll see how this plays out.
But back in the Lion's Den, a defiant Jimmy Kimmel wasn't just back. He was on the offensive. He walked onto his stage not as a victim, but as a victor, ready to face his biggest critic head on.
He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now.
God damn.
And Disney lost all that money. Mickey was like, "Hey guys, we gotta bring Jimmy back. You're losing my f***ing money. What the f*** is wrong with you? It was just a joke. We gotta bring him back. What are you f***ing crazy? Come on, man, get that motherfucker back. I'm losing money." This just proves that there is power in the people. Congratulations, Jimmy Kimmel is back. I can't wait to see his first joke, his monologue, because that's gonna be huge, by the way. And another thing is, too, the joke that Jimmy told wasn't even that bad. Donald Trump kind of disrespected CK, Charlie. They asked Donald Trump about how are you feeling about this situation with Charlie Kirk. He goes, "As you can see, the trucks out there, you see the ballroom is going to be fixed. We got trucks waiting for the ball." He kind of brushed it off. So Jimmy was just saying, wow, you have no empathy for this man that just died. Since we bringing people back, you motherfuckers need to bring back Arsenio. Yeah. Oh, my man Jimmy Kimmel is back. Jimmy Kimmel is back.
With a single monologue, Kimmel turned the narrative on its head. He wasn't just defending himself. He was mocking the very power that tried to silence him.
Against this guy. He's not stopping. And it's not just comedy. He's gunning for our journalists, too. He's suing them. He's bullying them. Over the weekend, his foxy friend Pete Hegseth announced a new policy that requires journalists with Pentagon press credentials to sign a pledge promising not to report information that hasn't been explicitly authorized for release. That includes unclassified information. They want to pick and choose what the news is. I know that's not as interesting as muzzling a comedian, but it's so important to have a free press, and it is nuts that we aren't paying more attention to it. Walter Cronkite must be spinning in his grave right now. He's dead, right? Yeah. Look, I never imagined I would be in a situation like this. I barely paid attention in school. But one thing I did learn from Lenny Bruce and George Carlin and Howard Stern is that a government threat to silence a comedian the president doesn't like is anti-American. That's anti-American. And I am so glad we have some solidarity on that from the right and the left and from those in the middle like Joe Rogan. Maybe the silver lining from this is we found one thing we can agree on, and maybe we'll even find another one. Maybe we can get a little bit closer together. We do agree on a lot of things. We agree on keeping our children safe from guns, on reproductive rights for women, Social Security, affordable health care, pediatric cancer research. These are all things that most Americans support. Let's stop letting these politicians tell us what they want and tell them what we want. You are our leader. There was a moment over the weekend, a very beautiful moment. I don't know if you saw this. On Sunday, Erica Kirk forgave the man who shot her husband. She forgave him. That is an example we should follow. If you believe in the teachings of Jesus, as I do, there it was. That's it. A selfless act of grace, forgiveness from a grieving widow. It touched me deeply. And I hope it touches many. And if there's anything we should take from this tragedy to carry forward, I hope it can be that.
And so the dust begins to settle on a new fractured landscape. Jimmy Kimmel is back on ABC, but not everywhere. Major broadcast groups like Sinclair and Nexstar, representing hundreds of local stations, are refusing to air his show, creating a patchwork of blackouts across the country. A clear sign of the deepening political divide in media.
Hey, what's up, America? Jimmy Kimmel comes back to late night tonight. Only a nationwide affiliate, Sinclair, won't show his show because he didn't apologize because he's an asshole. So as you know, Jimmy Kimmel was suspended the other day, but now he's going to come back. But several affiliates are refusing to show Jimmy Kimmel's show on their networks, mainly because he didn't apologize for talking shit about Charlie Kirk and his death. Now, the fucked up thing is Jimmy Kimmel only had about 170,000 people watching him on his daily show. Now, of course, when Jimmy Kimmel comes back tonight, there's going to be a spike in ratings because people are coming back to see the show because he was suspended. But obviously, the stale Trump jokes will take him down to about 150,000 people watching a show, more than likely by the end of this week. So I think it's fucked up how the networks are fighting so hard for people that are losing the network's money. Obviously, none of these late night shows actually make any money. If you've seen the ratings, you'll know that every late night talk show host, their ratings are in the fucking shitter. Less than 200,000 people watch these assholes' show every night. Yet somehow they're getting $20 million. It's almost like these networks are paying high dollar for total failure just because it's a government narrative that supports their left-wing agenda. Come to think of it, that seems like it's always what it's been. This is why we need the Charlie Kirk Act more than ever right now. Because it's my opinion that every television is pretty much nothing but government propaganda at this point.
ABC says Jimmy Kimmel is back, but entire cities, they may never see him. Because the affiliates who carry the show, they're refusing to air it. Disney and ABC announced his return, but Sinclair and Nexstar, which own dozens of affiliates, say they're not going to air him. And now we know why. A study found that since 2022, 97% of Kimmel's political guests, they've been liberals. And more than 90% of his political jokes, they targeted conservatives. So this isn't just about free speech. It's about business. Those affiliates, they just don't share Kimmel's values, and they don't think mocking half the country is good programming for their local markets. So in the end, it wasn't a First Amendment issue. Like I said, it was companies deciding they just don't like what he's saying.
This was never just about a joke. It's about power, influence, and who gets to control the narrative. Disney may have blinked in the face of financial pressure, but the war is far from over. With a presidential lawsuit looming and a deeply divided audience, the question remains: In this battle for the heart and soul of American media, who will truly have the last laugh?